Well, a lot of people have been wanting a presidential debate that includes many more candidates than what we've got going on right now, which is like no candidates for any of the debates, right? Donald Trump won't debate. We've seen some of the Republican debates. Joe Biden won't debate anybody. And so there is a hunger for presidential debates, and there are more candidates running than just those two. We, of course, know Bobby Kennedy is running. We know that there's several candidates in the Libertarian Party. We've actually featured four of them on this show. Jill Stein is running. We've got also others in the Green Party running. Dr. Cornel West is running. Lots of people running. So why isn't there a debate? Well, actually, there is. That's what's great. There is a debate coming up. There was one before. There's another one, February 29th. The Free and Equal Elections Presidential Debate is coming up. And with us now is Christina Tobin, who is moderating the debate. Christina, welcome to the show.
Kim, thanks for having me back again.
So is this number two, debate number two that is happening?
Yeah, this is our 2024 presidential debate series. Free and Equal Elections has been hosting presidential debates for 15 years. Broadcast legend Larry King and I co-moderated Free and Equals debate in 2012, reaching tens of millions, top 10 trending on Twitter, now X. And so, yeah, we're gearing up for our second of up to 6 presidential debates this 2024. It'll be February 29th at the home of the Jon Stewart Daily Show, Chelsea Television Studios in New
Oh,
York.
wow.
February 29th.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. So how big is that studio? Is there going to be like an actual live crowd there as well?
Yes, we can have about 100 people in there. So it's just the right size. And it'll be the same studio that we were at for our debate several weeks ago as well, about a month ago. So about 100 people.
Okay. So who is going to be in this debate that we can look forward to watching here soon?
Well, you can go to Free and Equal, freeandequal.org to get the current list of confirmed candidates. The people voted in. Free and Equal launched a blockchain voting app powered by Nexus.io. And with 330,000 votes over that many casted through ranked choice voting, they voted in the top 7 candidates. Here you can see Robert F.
Okay.
Kennedy Jr., Jill Stein, Cornel West, Claudia de la Cruz, Jasmine Sherman, Lars Mapstead, and Chase Oliver. So independents, Green Party, Libertarians. And so 5 of them have confirmed to be a part of this debate. And the 2 that are invited still, that haven't confirmed yet, are Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and Dr. Cornel West.
Okay. So you do have Jill Stein from the Green Party.
Yes.
Also from the Green Party, Jasmine Sherman. This is another candidate running on the Green Party ticket, or for the, I suppose, for the nomination from the Green Party, because they haven't done their nominations yet. Same thing with the Libertarian Party, right? So you've got Jill Stein and Jasmine Sherman from Green. From Libertarian, you have Chase Oliver and Lars Mapstead. Is that right?
Correct.
Then you've got Claudia de la Cruz from Party for Socialism and Liberation. Okay. So those are the 5 that you have fully confirmed.
We do.
Oh, interesting.
It's diverse.
That is very diverse between libertarians and then the socialism and liberation Green Party candidates. I mean, this is going to be a really interesting debate. And then you say that you've also sent invitations to the independents who are running on independent tickets, Dr. Cornel West and Robert F. Kennedy Jr., but they have not confirmed whether or not they're going to be going to this debate yet.
They're invited, and the
Okay.
invitation will stand until the day of the debate. So I hope they can make it.
I hope they do too, because this is going to be, I think, an important debate. I think it's important for Americans, especially, look, if you're Bobby Kennedy or if you're Cornel West, any of these candidates, a big part of the message has been, we need more than just these 2 parties, the 2-party system that we're stuck in. We need to break free from that 2-party system. And so this would be the way to do it, especially since they're not even having debates in those other parties, right? Like the Democrats, Biden's unwilling to debate anybody. Trump won't debate anybody. There were Republican debates, at least. I give the props to the Republican Party for trying, right, to have some debates within their party. But this will be a really, really interesting. And you say that this is going to be live. So this is professionally produced. How much does something like this cost to put on?
Upwards of $250,000. Our last debate was 250,000, and this one will be 250,000. Same production, same venue. The production will go up even higher because we have more time to prepare for this debate. So
Okay.
it's costly, and we plan to go into 360 immersive and bring in technology for future venues.
Mhm.
But how cool. I'm gonna be sitting behind Jon Stewart's desk again of The Daily Show. This is amazing. Daily Show's aired. That's, I mean, Jon Stewart would be iconic moderator. If not for this debate, we'll have up to 6 this year, hopefully one of the future debates. But the good news is Rumble, 180 million users. They are on board to broadcast the debate. Pacifica Radio, Epic Times, I just found out, came on board, and just interviewed with Redacted, just like a lot of cool with you and all. And I hope to get on Patrick Bet David, fingers crossed, and really put the message out there. But Jon Stewart's been invited to moderate, Tucker Carlson, Oliver Stone, Patrick Bet David, Jon Stewart, I mentioned, Joe Rogan, and definitely excited to see who comes up to the plate to co-moderate this presidential debate with myself. We do
Yeah.
have confirmed moderator Jason Palmer of Together. He's a venture capitalist and helped make this debate a reality, as well as the, I don't know how many, maybe 100 or so donors that donate over $40,000 on our through our website, which you can go to freeandequal.org and donate today to support this series. We have a lot more debates to fund in the future.
You've been funding these personally.
Yes, I
How
have.
I mean, why in the world? How that seems really, I mean, how much money have you had to put out towards I mean, the $250,000 like, who has that kind of money to just drop on an election like this? I mean, on a debate, and you've been doing that on your own?
I've had help from the donors online, Jason Palmer, some other donors, but I've also put in over 15 years, beyond hundreds of thousands, 500,000 of my own proceeds. And
Wow.
recent weeks or months, I was hired by the 2024 American Values Super PAC to get Robert F. Kennedy Jr. on the ballot. And I'm so grateful for the job opportunity. I worked as the 2008 National Ballot Access Coordinator for Ralph Nader. So my separate company from the nonprofit we're speaking of, Free and Equal Elections, I run a petitioning company called Free and Equal Inc. And so has coordinated, collected millions of signatures. And so I'm using proceeds from this ballot drive to fund this presidential debate.
So you
So
used your paycheck is what you're saying. You
I
used your
some
paycheck.
of it, and you know, what's life? I mean, when you aren't rising and thriving for liberty, that's what I'm here for. This is a calling, and the more candidates having Dr. Cornel West and Robert F. Kennedy Jr. be at this debate will help really spark this independent movement and really help alleviate really the crutch. That's my own choice, my own doing to make this happen. But I have no regrets, and we are where we are today because of a beautiful, free, and equal team, and also my team with the petitioning world of beautiful people that I work with. I can personally call them all friends. I could hang out on an island with them for months. That's how much I love the team that I'm surrounded with, which has not always been that case in 25 years. So I'm so grateful to have them, and
Wow.
the supporters and volunteers that have and are making this vision a reality to reach the masses.
It's just amazing you're really putting your money where your mouth is, when it comes to this vision that you see, which is to have free and fair elections in this country where we have more options than just the duopoly, and which is, oftentimes the same one option. I think that's really amazing, and I do think that we will be breaking free from this duopoly sooner than later. I think more and more Americans are waking up. I think that we know just from polls, not that we could totally trust polls, but we know that fewer Americans identify as Republican and Democrat than ever before. More and more people are independent and want independent choices. And I think with independent media, with all of these Rumble, right, all of these things that are going on, people are starting to see that they do have more choices. What kind of questions are you going to be asking these guys during the debate?
Well, to follow up on what you said, we just put out a nationwide press release on Monday where I'm stating that for the first time in history, there are more identified independent voters than Republicans and Democrats. Not since Ross Perot ran for president 32 years ago have we seen an independent candidate poll with such high numbers in battleground states. The makeup of the national electorate has shifted, and presidential debates must reflect that shift to maintain integrity. At Free and Equal Elections, we are committed to hosting presidential debates that reflect that reality. So I really wanted to say the Gallup polls, yes, way more independence. That's
Yeah.
why the need for a truly independent debate is so vital. And the
And
question
in this
that we'll
case, like with the polls, I do think that the polls reflect reality in this instance, just because even anecdotally, when I go around and I ask people, are you a Democrat or a Republican? More and more people are saying, well, not really either. I guess I tend to vote this one way, but I'm not real. People are answering back at. I feel like 10 years ago they would just, I'm a Democrat. That's it. I am not one of them. I'm not one of those. And same vice versa. But now we're getting people saying, well, neither, right?
Yes, I agree with you. And we see a lot of candidates using party lines to get elected. Arguably, Trump did that. I would say he did because when he first ran for president, he inquired my petitioning company to see what it would take to get on the ballot as an independent for president. Over 938,000 signatures. I mean, if that's not unconstitutional, I don't know. I mean, and only 25, 50,000 for D's and R's, which it shouldn't even be that high for them. But to answer your question before, the type of topics that we're going to be asking at this debate, anywhere from economic and financial policy to national security and defense and surveillance, technology and innovation, and the AI, cybersecurity, from civil liberties, social policy, immigration, healthcare. I hope to get his freedom of speech. I mean, with what's going on with Julian Assange, and very, very timely in that way. Electoral reform to foreign policy, of course, with Israel and Palestine and beyond, the Ukraine,
Ukraine.
and
Yeah.
just ties of the military industrial complex and pharmaceutical that just really control that mechanism. Unity. So just really focusing on solutions, hopefully at the end of the debate or throughout. So those are some topics that we've been hearing. And I hear you also on polling, but gosh, polling can be quite flawed. It depends who funds the polls, right? So
Right.
with our blockchain voting app, we've gone into the beta phase of the 330,000 votes casted, but we're going to be moving into the app, into voter ID verification to secure that blockchain voting. But we plan and we'll have polls on that app in the future where people can poll the questions and or ideas, implementing platforms into that app where it's not controlled by money. It's truly the people drawn into the
Right.
app that are voting. So
Yeah.
it's a
The
bigger
the
excited to
right,
see.
the trick with it is, I mean, sure, funding matters, but also just audience matters, and that's kind of the issue is like, well, who's actually voting in that app? Like, what type of, is it a certain type of person who tends to be more, for one, aware of the existence of it, and secondly, then would be willing to vote, right? Like that's what I see whenever I see like a CNN poll. I'm like, well, is that CNN viewers? Because we know which way they lean, right? Or Fox News poll or something along those lines. A lot of it has to do with, but if it's, but that just comes down to, I think, just awareness, and more and more people just being interested, coming from all sides. And I think you're really good at being fair and balanced, which I actually want to kind of circle back because you just mentioned that you were hired by the American Values Super PAC, right?
Mhm.
And that is the Kennedy. That's the one that is funding Robert Kennedy. That's the PAC that paid for the Super Bowl ad, I think. And there was like a big uh like some he they were there was like, actually, isn't the Democratic Party, I think, is actually looking into Robert Kennedy's campaign. They're going after him. There's a couple of things that they're doing. They're trying to go after him because they're so threatened, of course. But one of the things is they're trying to say that his campaign coordinated with the PAC, just because on Twitter he said, wow, that was a great ad. Like, I mean, so ridiculous. But that's the kind of stuff that they do. But I want to bring this up because, so then are you like a Kennedy vote? I mean, does that make you one-sided and biased, or do you think that
Oh,
because you're working for that?
so many as far as the DNC, I've spoken with top electoral experts in the US. So they have a weak case, and it's only going to backfire on the DNC because the people
Right, of
want
course.
to see reform. They want to see more voices, more choices. So that's my take on that. What was your other question you just asked?
As far as working for that PAC,
Oh,
does
yeah.
that?
No, I've done it for so many. If you go on Wikipedia, you can see I've helped Green parties, libertarians, the socialist parties, independent Democrats, Republicans, independent Ralph Nader. I mean, that's left leaning in 2008. I would have
Right.
done it for Dr. Ron Paul. I spoke with him the other day. And I was really hoping he could potentially be a moderator for this debate. He's not available, but such an inspiration. I would have done it for him, get him on the ballot, but he told us directly the number one reason he didn't run as an independent is because of the restrictive ballot access barriers. Again, 938,000 signatures on the ballot. You have to do 20% cushion, and then the validity, you have to collect over 1.4 million, and that drives
Yeah.
cost tens of millions. So yes, I've been hired by the 2024 American Values Super PAC, the founder Tony Lines. It's been an honor to help get Robert F. Kennedy on the ballot. And I've also helped a Democratic presidential candidate cycle, Jason Palmer, get on the ballot. And he's evolved into becoming a supporter of this debate, even though he's not in it. He is
Right.
the founder of his organization, Together, and I'll be honored to have him as a moderator. He made this debate a reality, as well as the people that donated over 40,000 through our website in the last couple of
Yeah.
months.
I bring it up because I just want to show
And
that
my
you're
own
committed.
donation from the ballot drive. I have to admit it. I donate. I put money from my own ballot drive work for Kennedy and in the past for other candidates towards these presidential debates.
Yeah, I bring this up just to show that you're just committed to having many candidates out there as choices. It doesn't matter which one you personally like or which one you personally would vote for. You seem to be just committed to the cause of we just need more choices. Even if it's a choice you personally won't ever vote for, you are happy to help that person be a choice for other people. Am I reading that wrong?
That's correct. I have an author here, the book on the side, one of many authors not invited to the party, and by James Bennett, How the Demopublicans Have Rigged the System and Left Independents Out in the Cold. And I am truly, I put my free and equal hat on, and that's how I am personally as far as his candidates. I see whether you are far left, right, man, we can agree and we will agree on more topics than not. And the current system intentionally divides us. It's archaic. They thrive off of infighting and chaos, and they use tools like Hollywood and music, the press, as you would know firsthand, Kim, social media and censorship. And shame on that. Like, let's let that go. Let's build a new paradigm. And so, at 25 years that I've been in this in the making, I've been ready for this idea and this movement to take off. And the plan is for it to go on a decentralized platform, freeandequal.org, as a visionary. I don't claim an ownership to it. And it's only what it is today because of the ideas of the people that I put it together and the candidates. And that blockchain app will be listing every candidate in office, running for office, provide all the tools to help you when you run for office. I did it when I ran for 20 at 27 years of age. And I'm saying you, your listeners today, run for office, get involved. If you can't do that, get involved in your local community. Because a wise man, a friend of mine, the late Ed Asner, once told me, real change begins from the ground up. And that's what we're doing here at Free and Equal Elections. We're building it from the ground up.
That's really awesome. You are a ballot access expert. You've been helping, as you mentioned, Kennedy get on the ballot and many others in the past. And you'd be open to others if they came to you today, right? If they were like, hey, help me out too.
Yeah.
Would you be able to do that?
Yes, I've been invited to speak at the Libertarian Party of California State Convention this weekend and working with the national chair, Angela McCardle. I'm very open to piggybacking where I legally can in states to get more parties on the ballot. I've told the Jill Stein Green Party, as well as Cornel West, where I can do that. And I've done that in the past in 2016, 12. I've carried 2008 for Ralph Nader. I helped the Constitution, Libertarian parties, and states where I could carry more than one petition. So I
That's
am
awesome.
really for free and equal elections.
Yeah. Right now, it looks like the Libertarian Party has the most ballot access as of right now, with the,
Yeah,
I mean, besides Democrats and Republicans, who we know have all the ballot access. Libertarians, as of right now, are on the ballot in 36. So it's out of 51 because DC, it's the 50 states plus DC. So
correct.
36 is what they're on right now. So they have a little ways to go before they can get on all of the ballots. Green Party is sitting at 21 states plus DC.
That's
So
correct.
they're second. No Labels. What is that organization? I've heard of that one, but
No labels is what was it
who
before?
is behind that?
They're doing, I forget the names offhand, but I met the founder over New Year's out east at an event in Charleston, a private event, and really kind. And what they do is they get ballot. You can get ballot lines ahead of time and not declare who your candidate is.
Uh
I
huh.
think that he mentioned they may nominate somebody around March, but we're right there at March, so
Okay, right.
17 lines. And
Are
Peter,
they the one that they choose, like, one from the left and one from the right to run together?
it's hard to say what's
Or
gonna
is
happen there. They could hand over that ballot line and nominate somebody and hand that ballot line to Robert F. Kennedy if he needed it. I'm
oh,
not
I
sure
see.
what happened. But they could essentially get all 50 lines plus one and then nominate somebody to really, it kind of could change the game a lot. So We'll see what happens. Peter Ackerman did one like this back in the day, where I forget the name of it offhand. I should know. Similar concept. When Bloomberg got in the race, they really wanted to nominate him. Then he dropped out. Jim Webb dropped out. And so they didn't continue that line of 30 something lines. It just kind of crumbled. But
Uh-huh.
it's like No Labels is on their way to hope. Good for them. I mean, I'm for more voices, more
Right.
choices. But
Totally. I'm a
it's
little confused though, because now that I think about it, I think I was thinking of the Unity Party, which I
that's
think was that's different. But you know what? Their slogan is exactly the same.
I think it's different. Well, I don't know
Isn't
offhand.
that
I won't
strange?
be
I
certain
think
after this interview, but No Labels is what I've heard. So
okay, well, Unity Party is like not left, not right, but forward. And I thought that that was the no labels when I was just looking at no labels. I feel like was that their their slogan too? Not right, not left, but for I can't imagine that that's they both didn't do that. No way. Okay, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But anyway, interesting, interesting. And there's a lot of but it looks like Kennedy right now is on two of the state well he's at New Hampshire and Utah is looks like what he has. Cornell West also has two at the moment
yes,
for ballot access. So interesting. So yeah, they both should be at that debate. They need to be there, right? They need the exposure. They need to get more ballot access.
I would love to have them there. They are going to be at the Libertarian Party of California convention this weekend. Dr. Jill Stein as well. Thank you, Dr. Jill Stein, for being at our debate.
She's
Uh,
great.
no newcomer. She was at our debate in 2012, and so on. And so to have them there, I hope they can make it. I hope they can change your schedules, and the people wherever they're scheduled can support them coming to this debate, because the reach that we're going to have is astronomical, and naturally with them adding to the roster will help us reach even more. So
Even more for
fingers
sure.
crossed.
Yeah.
And Kennedy is speaking on a forum with libertarians this weekend in California. So my heart's gonna be like, if you can do the forum with the libertarians, please do this presidential debate. A big issue we've had in 15 years is a reason why people have a hard time putting on debates. The number one reason, we have to have good relationships with the campaigns, which I do across the board for the most part. As long as they
Yeah.
communicate with me, if they have any questions, concerns, just come to me and it can and will be addressed. I'm just here really to unite our country. But the biggest challenge is that every time the candidates want to only debate the more well-known candidates. I had this issue with Ralph Nader and Bob Barr, independent and libertarian 08. They just wanted to debate each other or the more well-known candidates. But I'm like, well, then how are you being any different from the mainstream
Right.
Democrats, Republicans that are excluding you? And that's something I really want to message to Cornell and Bobby, that they don't want to debate you. And the people that are at this debate, the five, they all want you there. And I want you there. Free and equal elections of 330,000 people that voted for you and more
Right.
want you there.
I think it's a strong message to send, and I'll say this now. Look, you are no different than the rest. You are no different than the Republicans or the Democrats if you don't show up to that debate. Robert and Cornell West, if you guys do not show up, you're literally no better. And it undermines your entire campaign, quite frankly. It undermines the entire message of the campaign, which is that we're not like the two sides of the ass, the cheeks of the ass of the Democrats and the Republican Party, but we're instead different and for the people and truly independent. So I think that hopefully, you could talk to them this weekend when you see them and you could get them to show up to this debate. It would, I think, though the candidates you have, I think it's still going to be a very interesting debate. I'm interested to watch it. I will certainly be watching it. This is again on February 29th, which is what day? Is that a Friday or is that a Thursday?
From 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern,
There,
broadcast live on Rumble, freenequal.org,
great.
and many more. And
Okay.
Kim, I wanted to end, with the Commission on Presidential Debates. I mean, that's all pharmaceutical funded military industrial complex. It's crumbling. The RNC removed their support. Bobby, Cornell, they do not deserve the CPD, Commission on Presidential Debates, do not deserve to have candidates like Cornell and Bobby there and all of our 5 confirmed candidates. That is a fraudulent platform. The League of Women Voters, it was stolen from them. The debates in the League of Women Voters originally created the debates, and the Commission on Presidential Debates stole it from them in the late 70s. And the League has rightfully always said since then that the CPD has perpetuated a fraud on the American voters. Bobby, Cornell, I wouldn't even want to be a part of a fraudulent platform that goes against
Right.
thing these accountable individuals stand for. So thank you, Kim, so much for your support. Anybody can donate towards our cause, and reach out to Cornell and Bobby and ask them to be at this debate kindly, and more voices and more choices. Thank you, Kim, for your ongoing support.
Christina, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
Hey guys, be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you like this segment. Now, you might be wondering, this seems like it's part of a bigger show. You're right, it is. The full show is at KimIversonShow.com. So what you're watching is just a clip. And if you want to get the full experience, then you got to go to KimIversonShow.com. The show airs Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern at KimIversonShow.com. That is where you can watch the full show. Here, you just get clips. So click on the link down below, go to the full show, enjoy. Otherwise, I'll see you next time right here. And be sure, once again, like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.